I am always rushing time. When I was little, I couldn't wait to grow up. Time slowly went by until I suddenly found myself in this adult body. And every day I still lived in the future, wondering if things will work out, looking firmly ahead and never at the present. Until now, all of a sudden days go by so fast. I blink and winter changed into summer. Vast meadows are covered in fiery poppies and fields are full of wheat, almost ready for harvest. I want to grasp each day by a minute, make time stop, be little again, force a moment last an hour. I'm balancing on the edge of a blade, caught in a whirlwind of passing time and fear of the future. I turn 30 in exactly a month. The future I always dreamt of is here, but I realize that I still don't have everything figured out. I started anew in the very last year of my 20s, a new Geordie, becoming an artist. Only starting to barely comprehend life now, when the little me thought I'd already be a know-it-all adult. If there is one thing I learned, is that having it all figured out is the biggest lie we've been told, ever. All adults are still children on the inside, living this life for the very first time. There are two things I want to say. Everything worthy takes time, and you don't have to have everything figured out. All you need to do is take the next step. Hello! You might notice that my background is slightly different today, and we'll get to that bit in a moment. I am turning this corner of the room into my new art studio and the workstation. I haven't had a place of my own where I can create freely and keep it as messy as I want forever. Well, last time I had it was when I lived in the dorms at uni. And I really wanted a space where I can be as messy as I want, where I can be as creative as I want, and where I can focus, because at the moment I am working from my dining table and I'm constantly staring outside into the garden, and it is very distracting. I am actually the type of person who finds it very difficult to focus. So any movement in the garden, and currently it's very windy, it distracts me a lot. So at the moment this is just an art station, but eventually I will buy a desk and a chair and some artwork to decorate it. So this is going to be exciting, and I will show you how I did it. Oh, I've been feeling behind in life too often. How is it that an almost 30-year-old doesn't have everything a respectable adult should have? For example, one of the things I never had in my life is a space of my own, a space where I am free to create. As someone with difficulty to focus on one thing at a time, I need my zone where I can get absorbed into work for at least a while. Which is why the piano I had standing here in this corner of the room has now moved, and I'm turning this corner into my office using furniture I already have in this house. But I could help!
While you're filming.
That's another thing I never had figured out. I don't own a house, and neither do I own my own furniture. Everything I have is rented, except for the piano. I never imagined that I'll be living in a rental space as an almost 30-year-old, but here I am. It gives me the freedom to move around, unburdened by possessions. But truthfully, I'd love to have my own house. Internet might make you believe that you're somewhere behind in life while looking at someone else's perfect picture. You're living your own timeline in the ever-changing world. I'm sure many adults, no matter the age, are in this similar situation. That's the thing I had to come to terms with. We're living in a world where information is available at our fingertips. We expect others to be available, a text message or a call away 24/7. We're looking at picture-perfect lives on social media, exposed to information we would have had to seek out purposefully only about 15 years ago. I don't think this is how life is supposed to be, truthfully. Life of comparison and a constant chase for the next best thing. Oops. What do I do now?
Okay. Now, now do the reverse.
Like this?
Yeah. Put it on back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Try to run it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Came out. What do I do with it? It doesn't do anything.
Because what are you doing?
Ooh, what is that?
You make it pretty then.
Why no?
Because this is, oh, come on, this is, don't come on.
We want to believe that we can control everything. This lack of control, the whirlwind that life truly is, scares us. But you can only control so much. You can plant a rose and water her daily, choose the nourishing soil and good spot to plant her in. But you cannot control the weather and how many buds she will produce. Certain things you have to let go of. I wanted to address the subject of today's video. Wait, I forgot what it is. You don't have to have everything figured out. And It is difficult for me to say that out loud because I am definitely not the type of person who used to believe in that. As I mentioned, I turn 30 exactly a month from now, and I am a little bit scared because when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20 even, I imagined my life so differently to how it is right now. The light changed. Sorry. My own identity, my purpose in life has always been incredibly important to me. And figuring out who I am, finding myself, finding my voice has always been something I struggled with. And I feel like for the longest time, I let my environment affect me so much. Unless everything is perfect around me, unless everything is figured out and clear, I would not know where to go. I would not know where to move. So I spent so much of my time in preparation for action. That time you spend in preparation for action feels like you are doing a lot of things. You make yourself feel as if you're succeeding. You make yourself feel as if you're busy and productive, but in reality, you spend so much time in preparation for action, but you actually don't do the action. I kind of created this illusion for myself as if I have spent my time being busy and actually achieving things, when in reality I was just paving that perfect little path, trimming every piece of grass on that path for myself, when actually I haven't been doing the main action. So right now I'm just throwing myself into this abyss of figuring out new things, of figuring out how to sell my work, of figuring out how to create new work, how to paint, which is something that I've only done 4 months, I think. I started in the beginning of April-ish. I decided that I'm not gonna spend time in preparation anymore, and I'm just gonna jump into it and throw myself into the abyss. And it is scary, but I am so happy to have you on this journey. Anyhow, today's video is about screw the preparation and let's just try things out. Let's just see where it leads us. So thank you for joining me on this journey and enjoy this video. Your journey is your own. My journey is my own. How would you act? What would you do in your day-to-day life if suddenly no easy access, instant information, and someone's success reel were not available any longer? Using this opportunity while I am setting up my new art station, I would like to let you know that as I speak, my photography print shop is open. Check out the link in the description. This summer has been strangely temperamental, impermanent, hot for a moment, then freezing cold. On this rainy day in July, I felt inspired to paint an autumnal scene. After all, I am still an autumn girl through and through. As a reference, I'm using a picture I took last year in Peak District, one of my favorite places in England. I am painting for my own enjoyment, and it's a lovely process I indulge myself in, almost at a childish level, as if figuring out my very first steps over again, innocently, without pre-existing misconceptions, prejudice, and limiting beliefs. Without thinking that I can't do it, without spoiling this pure joy with too much preparation. I am curious where this journey is going to lead. For now, I am incredibly grateful for your presence alongside me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.